Welcome everyone to a Tortuga channel update, kind of a public service announcement because there's a few games on sale right now that I'd like to draw your attention to. First we'll start off with the Humble Store, the Humble Bundle. Pretty well known at this point. I never really understood how they were able to just go in and allow you to pay so little for games. That's usually with their game bundles. So they have some game developer bundle, game maker bundle going on, which is actually kind of relevant to this. We'll see that later, because towards the end of this video, I want to talk a little bit about some kind of like simulation stuff I've done for Rule the Waves. So anyways, we'll talk more about that. We can just browse all though. We can go to strategy games, which is what I kind of prefer. Also simulation, and maybe I'll sort by top discounts. That's kind of the way I think. And we can go through all of these, and we can see. Oh, look at Rise of Venice is on sale for $375. That's not bad. I'm highlighting that one in particular just because that's going to be funny later on in the video when we see another website. But anyway, you can go through and sort, just kind of browse. I kind of find it fun. It's almost like being at well, if you're as old as I am and you remember going to like Best Buy or Fry's Electronics or any of those places that sold video games back in the day, and you just walked down the video game aisles and you weren't really sure what you were going to buy, probably nothing, but you just read through all the boxes. That's kind of what browsing all these games on sale reminds me of. But the one I want to pay particular attention to is if you were to search for any game in particular, Distant Worlds Universe is on sale. It's half off. I know that $60 is kind of a steep asking price for a lot of people. But first of all, I will say I think the game is actually worth it for $60. It's a great game. But I understand, because I myself have a very small game budget, that getting this for half off, which is the best you're going to find it. You're not going to find it any lower than this. I looked for a while, I waited, and this is just the best I ever saw. The game's been out for a long time now, so if this is the best I've ever seen, I don't think it's ever going to go lower than this. $30 is just a steal for this game. It's a really good price. So if you've been a little hesitant about getting it at $60, hopefully this is good to welcome you in to the Distant Worlds Universe crew. And if you're a little worried about the complexity, or if you're interested in seeing more, I have a tutorial series which is pretty successful to help people who want to learn the game. Or if you just want to see what gameplay is like, I also have now just started a Distant Worlds quote-unquote Honorverse playthrough in the theme of the David Weber's Honor Harrington universe. So that's the first thing I want to talk about, is just Humble Bundle. Very trustworthy site. I've bought several things for them. I think they're just almost as well-known an entity as Steam is at this point. So they're pretty, you can trust that. I wouldn't suspect any kind of security issues with them. The other site I want to talk about, because it has some other sales that we can get interested in, is BundleStars, which I don't know what their security is. So tentatively, I have to say maybe it's, I don't know. I've bought one thing from them and I didn't have a problem, but this site is just, I would say, a lot less known to me. So I can't make a statement about how good it is one way or another. But I personally trust it, but I don't want to pitch it to other people. So I think it's probably reliable if you check it. But if you are willing to pay $2, you can get their first tier, but more importantly, and much related to my channel, again, if you're willing to pay $3.50, you can get all these games, which includes Advanced Tactics Gold. Now, Advanced Tactics Gold, they say normal price is $30. I think you can get this game for $10. I don't know on a sale. Getting this game, and then just as a bonus, getting all these other games for free, for $3.50 is an absolute steal. It's just, what a bargain. And I highly recommend Advanced Tactics Gold. I have a tutorial series on my channel, and I have several Let's Play series. I'm actually going to be doing another Let's Play series on this very soon, and I think I'll be doing that in co-op. So I will probably ask or see if there's another person available. We will both be human regimes against 3 or 4 computer regimes who try to slaughter us. And I think that would be a lot of fun. So anyways, getting Advanced Tactics Gold for $3.50, and even if you don't know any of these other games, you're getting them for free and only paying $3.50 for Advanced Tactics Gold. That's the way I think about it. The only games of these other ones that I really recognize are Alea Hakta S, that's the dice is cast, that's what Julius Caesar said when he crossed the Rubicon, when he made his move to become emperor. And I recognize Pride of Nations. This is kind of like Ajod's. These are both Ajod's titles. And Pride of Nations is, I think, like Ajod's version of Victoria 2. It didn't get particularly good reviews, and I've never played it, so I can't recommend it. But, if you pick it up for free, what's the worst that can do? Just sit in your Steam library forever without being played, like many other games, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so that's it. Those are those games. There's also a Last Stand bundle. The only one of these games that I know well is Assault on Arnhem. If you want to get a better look at this, Hofstadter's Tortoise, who is another content creator on YouTube, he does war games, kind of like very similar to some of the content I do. He has some gameplay footage of this. I'll probably include a link to that right now over here so that you can jump over to him, tell him that I said hello, and you can kind of look at what Assault on Arnhem looks like. You get that, and you get these three games are extremely similar. They're hex-based war games. These two are the same game, as you can see, tank battle, but just different scenarios. And then this one is the very same interface, very same feel, but in the Civil War. They're kind of remind me a lot of like the Panzer General games, these two, or three. So that's only for $3, or if you'd like, there's also a bundle on Calypso, which means you can grab any of the games for specific prices. So you get 3 for $3, 5 for $4, or 10 for $6. The ones that I caught my attention were I really want to get a tycoon game going on the channel. I've been meaning to do that for a while, and one of the ones I was considering was like the Patrician or Port Royale, or the latest iteration in that kind of series was Rise of Venice. They're all the same thing. If you think of like Sid Meier's Pirates, just the merchant trading aspect is highlighted, not the boarding a ship and fighting people with swords. That's not in the Patrician series, but you're basically just moving your ship around from port to port, buying low, selling high. You can set up production lines, like you buy wheat and you build a factory to produce more wheat in one area. You go and you make beer out of that and somewhere else, stuff like that. I like that the tycoon aspect to games like that. Or if you want, there's the Tropico series, which I played, I think Tropico 4, and I enjoyed it, but actually I think my favorite Tropico game was maybe Tropico or Tropico 2. I can't remember which one was the really good one, but anyways, plenty of titles here you can pick from, and just BundleStars in general, they had this amazing deal on some Ajod titles. Like, I'm looking to get Civil War 2. I'm also looking to get To End All Wars. Actually, if people have an opinion on Commander the Great War versus To End All Wars, those are both two really, I would say, well-known, at least of the World War I titles. I'm debating which one of those two to get into. So if you have an opinion on that, please let me know in the comments, because I'm really, there's two time frames that I'm trying to dive into in the near future, which is World War I, and then also the Civil War. And for me, I think hands down the best Civil War game for playing on a strategic level, a grand strategy level, is Ajod's Civil War II title. But for World War I, it's not as clear if it is To End All Wars from Ajod, or if it's Commander of the Great War, which is by, I can't remember the studios. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember it. Okay, but anyways, this site, BundleStars, they have other package deals you can look at. So this one caught my attention, War Heroes Bundle, but I don't think it actually has stuff we want. I already own IL-2, but that's if you were to pick that up for $3, it's a good price. Men of War, I don't know. I've heard people talk about that. Other stuff. So you can just browse these websites and see what you might be interested in. Lastly, let's get into something which is one of my own personal projects. Is I've been working on a Rule the Waves combat simulation thing. Essentially, on the forum, we talked with Frederick about is it possible to add more automation? When you get into these wars, we haven't had one in my current playthrough, but that really drag on forever if you're not able to blockade them, or if you're not able to cause enough damage to get them to surrender. But if they're not blockading you, if neither side can really do enough damage to cause the other one to quit the war. Then you're just stuck in this infinite loop and you're constantly fighting these battles. And sometimes it's better just to simulate those because you're not interested in fighting every battle. It can get repetitive and you just want the war to end. So I think that even if you wanted to focus more on a strategic playthrough, it might be nice to be able to simulate some of the battles. Like some of those smaller battles, if you saw like it's a heavy cruiser battle or something like that, and you're like, hey, you know what? I want to fight only the big battles. I'm going to let the game simulate the rest of them. Well, Frederick said basically it's like a one-man team. He doesn't have the man hours to put into everything that people want. So, and that's one of the lower things on the priority list. So he's not going to be able to spend the time to develop a new simulator like that is better at automation or whatever, so that people can just simulate more of the combat, make it more strategic. Let's think about a gameplay where you never, in my stream on the Confederate States of America, I was doing a submarine playthrough. So the idea was I would decline every battle. But instead of declining, it might be nice if you could just simulate. So what I've done is, this is my current save game folder for the Russian gameplay of Rule the Waves, and RtW Sim. This is my Rule the Waves combat simulator. And right now it's only 2 ships, but I do have plans to extend it, but I kind of want to get people's opinion on it as it is right now. So what we can do is just kind of load 2 ships. Texas. Right here, just grab this. We can just have the Texas face off against itself. So now we just load the files. And the Texas 1 has defeated the Texas 2, but the Texas 2 actually didn't sink, she fled. So there's that. Okay, now it's the other way around. The ship 1 is the one who fled with a little bit less health. Right back to the other way. Okay, another one. So there, it looks like these guys are well defended. If we go to Notepad++, we can see what we actually grabbed here. It's a 32,000 ton dreadnought. So yeah, these things are really hard to sink, we know. Let's take a look at that armor. Just divide this stuff by 2 for the armor. So this is a 12.5-inch belt, 3-inch deck, 16-inch conning, 15.5-inch turret. Good God. 5 turret top. Yeah, no wonder this thing is hard to sink. Plus, it only has 12-inch main guns. Wow, that's very strange. So this is like almost like a tank. I mean that from a player class standpoint. That this is a unit which is meant to absorb a lot of damage but not able to deal it. So what I'm seeing from my simulator is that these ships are able to flee before they're sunk. Oh, here, we actually had one where ship 1 actually sank ship 2. Must have gotten lucky. Anyway, this is just my simulator. I'm building it. It's very crude right now. There's a lot of results which I'm trying to figure out how to make it a little bit more realistic. But I just thought I'd start showing it off a little bit. And I'm also going to probably going to message Frederick and see if this is something that it's okay if I continue with, get his blessing on the project or not. But otherwise, it was kind of a fun thing just to do in Python, just to script that up. And let's actually do something kind of fun. Let's see 2 ships from, let's get, what ship line, what about our Kinburn class? That one's kind of fun. Well, let's grab an opponent for the Kinburn. Or, well, I'm not sure what ship type this will be. Let's grab, what is this Leipzig? I don't remember facing it. Let's grab something which we haven't fought. Yeah, probably an American ship. Or maybe the Marseille. We haven't gone to the war with the French recently. What's this one? 21,400. It's a battle cruiser. Speed of 26. So it's slightly slower than my Kinburn, but it's definitely, let's see, what's its armament? Oh, so only 7-inch armor. What's the guns? 13-inch guns compared to my Kinburn's 11. So technically, if I just drop my Kinburn in here, we'd expect that, let's move this to the other view. We expect that my Kinburn is much worse off. Lower displacement, which translates kind of like to hit points. Equal fire control. They don't have torpedo defense, whereas I do. Although we only have, I think, 2 torpedoes, so it's not going to be a big issue. Armor, they're almost identical, 15, 14. I mean, you have to divide these by 2, but this is not all or nothing, though. but 13-inch guns versus 11. So this will be kind of interesting to see how these two stack up against each other. So let's just find out. Grab the Kinburn, and what was this one? The Marseille. And we're grabbing the 1624. This one. Okay, there's that one. And how do these stack up against each other? Okay, so in their first battle, the Kinburn actually came out on top. And it looks like the Marseille fled. And the next time, so these are really evenly matched. Actually, the Kinburn was actually able to sink the Marseille. The more damage you do in my algorithm, the more difficult it is to escape, but it's still possible. On even fight, where they both chose to disengage after heavy damage. So this is, and this one, the Marseille one, I really like. I think that the simulator is already at least decent, because these results are very, very believable compared to the ship types we're seeing. So anyways, I just wanted to draw your attention to that other project, and I guess that wraps up this channel update. So, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more content on the channel. I'll probably be talking a little bit more about this, maybe in its own video, but otherwise you'll have to go to the Rule the Waves forum to check out a thread on that, which I create. So, that's it. Take care, guys.